Hello, everyone. I'm going to pretend that there's nobody here, and I don't see anybody here, since I don't have a means of recording anymore. I have to buy a method of recording videos again because the last means that I had has vanished. Okay, I'm feeling a little better. I will begin this video by saying I was actually hoping to show spiritual cord. But in any case, if you can't see it, then it is what it is. So this video, okay, let's begin with I have been absent from YouTube for a while. There's a reason why I've been absent from YouTube for a while. I recorded a video earlier, but it's not allowing me to put it on the internet, so I'm redoing it. My nose is a problem because I'm still detoxing. I've been fighting basically between life and death. In 2020, late 2020, uh, I had some car accidents. Well, the family had some car accidents. Uh, later, I later to understand that that was no accident. So basically, let's see if I can figure out how to if it's live, it should be able to show spiritual cord here. You know what? Pretty much what I could do is put the spiritual cord. If you type in spiritual cord, CORD, you'll see that there's a connection between two people. Uh, so basically, let's just focus on the spiritual cords and how to avoid getting killed as a source player because there are a lot of obstacles, a lot of other players, negative players against source players. Okay, before I go any further, I want to thank the person who helped me to understand the importance of cutting, unrooting the spiritual cord between two people. Now, as a source player, it's very difficult. It's pretty much impossible to take out a source player unless that source player wants to be taken out. Then he or she can be taken out. But it's always his or her decision. That is, if you're being beaten down over and over again over time, you get tired. If you're being harassed over and over again over time, you get tired and you say, okay, you know what? I don't have to be here. Let me move on to the next level. So, in a way of speaking, it's harassment through the max level that weakens the source player to seem to choose to want to leave. I see that there are four people here. Maybe one of them is me, but excuse my nose. Feel free to type anything. Let me wrap it up. Let me just summarize here, and then if there are questions, if there are commentaires, French, comentarios, ustedes pueden hacerlos. Okay, so a spiritual cord. Think of a spiritual cord as the back door to killing a source player. Okay, so I'll answer that question that I see in a little bit. Okay, so I see a question on the screen. I'll answer it in a little bit. Let me just finish up what I'm saying. Okay, so the AI couldn't take you out, made you suffer a lot throughout your whole entire life, but couldn't take you out. Took out other elements of your family or your soul group, uh, but couldn't take you out because only you would decide to leave when you're ready. Okay. The council couldn't take you out. Pretty much the entire universe, leaders, the so-called leaders of the universe couldn't take you out, but there is a back door to taking out a source player. And this is very important, so listen carefully, people. Uh, Again, as I was helped, I'm sharing this information now instead of waiting until book 6. I'm sharing this information now because for me it has been life. I see, if you can see me, I have my hand over my heart. This information has been life and death. So sometimes when you are trying, when you're someone comes to you for help, the person is really actually trying to help you, or vice versa. But in this case, I was helped via email, and uh, so basically, I appreciate it. You know who you are. Thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Uh, the spiritual cord. Think of a baby being born with a cord attached to the mother. That's a connection. That's a physical connection. But the physicality is nearly a representation, a physical representation of the non-physical, the light. So it goes from physical to non-physical. So the back door is basically family. Okay, hear it again: family, and your wife, and your husband, or those with whom you are sleeping. So connection can be made between friends, but the strongest connections are with the DNA and or the injection of the DNA. Oh, at least I'm still making jokes. Ah, boy. Oh, man, it's been excruciating, people. So the back door is such that there is a connection between the spiritual cord. And when you get a chance, type in spiritual cord and click on pictures, images, and you'll see that there are chakra points between the feet to the feet, between the umbilical cord and the umbilical cord, between the heart chakra and the heart chakra, the throat chakra and the throat chakra, the crown chakra and the crown chakra. So basically, here is the way it works. So if someone is casting spells on you, and if the person's family, the person has a connection with you, the person has a connection with you because the person is your mother, your father, your brother, because brothers and sisters, sisters share a spiritual connection, DNA. So that's what the connection is. If the connection is negative, well, if they send you something, send negative energy and or entities, it will affect you in some shape or form. Okay, so two ways that it can affect you. It could be in your aura, or it could be your body. If you're not careful, it will eventually enter your body. But I've been told that the astral parasites entities are far more dangerous than the entities inside the physical body. So basically, if you are a source player or not, so you don't have to be a source player, take this cord cutting, cord cutting seriously. If you have a mother, a father, a husband, a wife, a very close friend, that's the back door. And your life, and you're wondering why you're dying. That's the back door. They couldn't get in through the main door because your nutrition is superb. They couldn't get in through the main door because you're taking care of yourself nutrition wise. But they got into the back door because there is a connection between you and your father, a connection between you and your mother, a connection between you and your brother casts a spell. People don't think that these spells work. Upstairs. I've had to like literally learn about magic recently, positive magic, how to cast away entities who were trying to keep me awake. Like, you can't make this up. Anyway, wrapping it up, cut the freaking cord. If the relationship is so toxic, cut the freaking cord. You want to unroot it? Fine. But if the relationship is so toxic, even if whatever black magic is sent your way, it doesn't have to be black magic, it could be negativity sent your way, even if they don't do black magic and they themselves are toxic, you will, because you're connected, you will sense, you will feel the negative energy, and that too will drain you. That's how you die faster. That's how they get you. Let's look at the questions or the comments. How do you return to source? Okay, that's the first one. Well, I tell you, when I was given, I was told to write my books in 2012, I believe it was. I was told, my source self told me that he or she would die. Excuse me. Well, the source self is not masculine or feminine. It's just like, but my source self told me that he would die for me, right? Well, well, I'm a guy, so I guess that he would die for me, and that I needed to, put the books out. So that's my main objective, and so I've done so. And I'm on the bonus rounds. So basically, you just have to keep improving, and then you eventually go home. Listen, even if you don't return to source consciousness in this life, as long as you move forward, because you don't want to be repeating the same exact life. That's how it is. You're repeating pretty much, twist more or less the same exact life. And if you don't make any changes, you're not going to move forward. So the major changes are going to be via nutrition, via self esteem, via love. Love is the overall compass, and love isn't necessarily always a feeling. Love could be logic as well. Today I got now love is okay. For example, why do you help people who have wronged you, who have killed important people in your life, who have, well, there comes a point in the ascension process where emotions, you become detached from the emotions, the lower levels of emotions, and you see things as they are. Not as emotional, but or logical, but more of like, this is what we need to do to make it better for everybody else. Okay, so the next comment is, I know what you mean by DNA injection, but would you also see the jab as such a cord? Yes, 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 the jab as a cord. Okay, so when I think of the jab as a cord, I'm thinking about the COVID-19. Yes, because what they're trying to do is make a connection between you and the negative thing they're putting in your body. It is, listen, the reason why they say that you need to put something like a little bit of the negative medicine in your body, because you know what they say, a little bit of the negative medicine in your body so your body gets used to it. This is bullshit. It's one of the biggest bullshit I've ever heard in my freaking entire life. So in order to protect my body, I have to destroy my body a little bit. That's logic, dude. The last time I took like a shot, the yellow fever, they made it so strong in West Africa, in Togo, TOGO, that I had a headache so strong for an entire week. Entire week. It took returning home meaning New York, to fight it. Yes, the jab is definitely trying to make a connection. Listen, if you have had to take the jab, the COVID-19, vaccine, you can still fight it. You're gonna feel pain. You're going to feel pain. The question is, how much pain do you want to feel? How much pain can you tolerate? There is something called something that the Native Americans produce called rapé, RAPEH, that like knocks out COVID-19. Uh, you put it through the nose. It's pretty much either branches or roots or of uh, powerful plants, trees, basically powder in powder form, and you blow it into your nose, and it works your chakra area. Excuse me. Starts with your crown chakra, depending on and your nose, either nose, well, throat. For me, it's been working bits and pieces all over, so that helps a lot. Okay, I like love is logic. Yes, love is partially logic and part. I don't know, man. It's just like today when I felt like, okay, so I don't have to really feel a certain way about this person who hurt me as long as I'm okay. Is that logic? Is that feeling? Well, sort of in between. So that's interesting. Okay, so I pretty much said what I wanted to say, unless anybody else has any more comments. Thank you for joining us. Um, yeah, when you get a chance, look up the pictures of spiritual chords and take that very seriously because if your diet is superb, no negative energy sent your way is going to work. If it works, it'll be just like an annoyance. But to the point where you are comatose in bed, like me, with too many strokes in March, is bad. Let's just say that it was a family member, two close people, who did this to me, and I had to act fast. My intuition quickly. I mean, it took me nearly it took me about 7 to 8 months to figure out what was going on because I didn't expect this person, one person in particular, to do what he slash she. I'm not going to say the person's name did. Okay, looks like nobody else has a comment. So those who joined us, thank you for joining us. Well, joining me, and have a good night. Source speed, source consciousness.